Question is, we don't have the ERA. Why don't we have the Equal Rights Amendment? Why does the American Constitution matter?
The Constitution is the kind of bedrock legal individual rights, statement of democracy, everything, set of words on which everything else is based. When all else fails, we turn to the Constitution. It is the single most important document here, more important than any other set of words.
When you're talking about the Equal Rights Amendment, and I like to call it the new era, right? Because I think that's really what we're talking about. We're talking about creating a new era for women and for girls. Right now what we have is a culture of complacency when it comes to women and girls. And I'm not going to bore you with all the Debbie Downer statistics because you've heard them all. But we're going this way on just about everything. And what a constitutional amendment will do is, just from a macro vision perspective, is just jumpstart this country to just realize men and women are equal, period.
It is an incredibly ambitious notion that we could take all of those people and be one, right? And the Constitution is the set of words, as Gloria says, that actually defines what it means to actually be one. What the opportunity here is actually to make the notion that men and women are fundamentally equal a part of those fundamental principles that define who we are as a nation. That's the opportunity.
Which I would like to say was the way life was before Europeans showed up. I mean, the 500 or 600 native cultures that were already here, very developed, very sophisticated, and so on, were very, very what we would call egalitarian. And women in Indian country make fun, I mean, because, you have to laugh in order to stay sane, What did Columbus call primitive, equal women?
And what is exciting to me about the ERA is that any woman who would be protected by this law would be under that umbrella.
How would the U.S. taking on the ERA affect the world?
We have been resting on the promise of what America is versus what we really are.
Not having an ERA makes America a global hypocrite. We like to say that we're a human rights leader in the world, but we're not at home.
We're not number one by any measure. There is absolutely none.
Given that we aren't number one in terms of gender equality, so I think we're going to have to rely a lot on leadership from our global sisters.
Equal pay. Why is equal pay specifically something that almost everyone seems to be getting on board with?
There are so many ways in which women have been treated unequally when it comes to wages in this country. Everything from domestic workers and home care workers being excluded from minimum wage and overtime protections for 70 years to tipped minimum wage of $2.90 an hour, that I wonder if we had an Equal Rights Amendment, right? If it would be constitutional for those inequities to exist.
And most people do not know that there's any disparity at all between the 77 cents that white women make and the much lower cent figure that Latina women make, that African American women make.
How is that story that we have of the American dream maybe not living up to what it means to be a fully inclusive nation? Should there be a new perspective on how the American dream is discussed?
I do not think the American dream has ever included everybody. It has never been regardless of sex or race or ethnicity.
I think that would be a new American dream.
Yeah,
I think what you just set out is a new paradigm. That would be the American dream, where men and women are treated equally. And I'm watching the Lego movie, and 50% of the superheroes are men, and 50% of the superheroes are women, and it's just a very natural kind of dynamic.
I think feminism in this way is optimism, right? And in that way, I think feminism is the most American thing you could have, right? To go to your point about one aspect of the American dream as being the possibility to change or the possibility to hope. Feminism really is that.
When I think about the ERA and why it's important to me, it's because it will be about dignity. It'll be about the acknowledgement that when I see the equal rights under the law and the marble at the Supreme Court, that I know it applies to me and my family and my children.